is up, everyone? My name is Doug Polk, and welcome back for another edition of Poker Thoughts. And today we're going to be taking a look at something I've been involved quite heavily in for the last half a year, Twitch poker. I want to talk about my experiences with Twitch poker. I want to talk about Twitch in general, TwitchCon, some other streamers, the landscape, just basically everything to do with Twitch. But I want to kick it off by answering this question: what is Twitch poker? Now, for those of you that don't know Twitch, or you haven't followed along on Twitch, or you just haven't been interested in Twitch, Twitch is a platform where people can stream video games and have other people watch them. Now, traditionally, people think of that more being for games like Call of Duty or Counter-Strike or Overwatch, or I guess Overwatch is a new game, but League of Legends or Hearthstone. But you can do that for any game, and there's a lot of really weird games out there. If you go head over to Twitch, you'll see what I'm talking about, such as cooking or art or whatever, right? But poker on Twitch has been a thing for about 2 years, and it was started by Jason Somerville. He was the first big streamer, got a lot of momentum rolling from that. It was in the game kind of before a lot of the other people were, and started to become sort of the icon of Twitch poker, right? Twitch poker in the last 2 years has grown a bunch. It's gotten a lot bigger, a lot more people were involved, and if you even think about the last year, right? I think the largest few streams right now are Jason Somerville, myself, and Tonka. And if you look at a year ago, both myself and Tonka weren't even in the game yet. So you can kind of see how the landscape changes so drastically in such a short period of time. Now, the big problem with Twitch poker is that you have a delay of about 4 to 6 minutes that you have in order to protect your hole cards, because poker is a little different than a lot of those other games that we just mentioned. If someone knows what cards you have, it's a pretty big disadvantage. Now, maybe the Hearthstone streamers, they're like, oh yeah, tell me that we don't have that problem. But in general, that's not a problem, because in poker, you lose money, right? Whereas in Hearthstone, maybe you lose a game. So the problem, I think, with that for poker in terms of growth on Twitch poker is that you don't get the same degree of audience interaction. I mean, you still get it, right? Because I can still see it and respond. But that 4 to 6 minute delay, I think it overall hurts Twitch poker's ability to grow. But still highly entertaining, and I understand why a lot of people like to watch Twitch poker. You get to see people play high stakes tournaments or small stakes cash, or just basically any kind of poker online. You get to watch someone experience the highs and lows, maybe talk about what they're doing, have fun with it, some big scores, some deep runs. It's overall a lot of fun, and I can see why people do enjoy watching people play on Twitch poker. Because I think one of the big problems people have, especially people that are more in my age range, maybe like the 25 to 34-year-old range, and also older as well, is they think to themselves, well, why would I rather watch someone play a game than play it myself? And that's a fairly good question, but it's because the experience is so much different. You're a viewer now instead of having to be someone playing the game, so your overall stress level is lower. You're able to focus on different things, and you don't have to really be playing at that high level that a lot of Twitch streamers are. So, on that note, let's go ahead and dive into my experiences on a personal level with Twitch poker. I will say, when I started streaming on Twitch, I thought, wow, this is really easy. I love doing it. It's a lot of fun. And I threw down 10, 12-hour streams on the reg, okay? And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy streaming. The problem is, streaming is just so strenuous that when I look at kind of the effects that streaming had to the other areas of my life, I did find some of them to be negative. The first thing that I found was it's a lot harder to eat healthy when you're spending 8, 10, 12 hours a day streaming, right? Because when you're done, you finally bust your last tournament, you're out of there, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, time for some grilled chicken and veggies. No, you want like a burger or something, have a beer to unwind, whatever. So I did find that it's much tougher to stick to a more strict diet when you're in the Twitch streets. I also found that it's tough to make time for yourself. I was watching one of the Twitch panels, and it made a lot of sense to me, like how to manage your time. And they said that when you have multiple full-time jobs, really streaming and something else, it becomes really difficult to make time to do stuff for yourself, like work out or relax. And when I look at that for me, I play poker, and then I also coach poker on Upswing Poker, and then I also, do YouTube videos, and I also stream. So, all of those could realistically be their own job in their own right. And to have to do all of those with the streaming being one of the primary things that I'm doing, I found that I'd wake up and I would work more or less all day, and then my day would kind of be over. So I found that it had kind of a negative effect on my health. I found that it had a bit of a negative effect on my overall well-being. When you're 2-3 weeks deep of streaming almost every day, it starts to get to you. You start to be a little, not as pumped, right? Like when I come in for a stream and I haven't streamed for a couple of weeks, I'm like cracking jokes, I'm having a good time, I'm able to keep that high energy level, no problem. But when you stream day after day, you get worn down, and I really do believe that the viewers can feel that. They can see when you're tired. They can see when you're kind of fed up. And so I think that what I've learned from my first 6 months on Twitch, and I'm gonna be streaming moving forward, but what I have learned is that even though it's tempting to be like, okay, we're gonna stream every day, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week, whatever it is, I'll do a week in a row, all this stuff, and because I get so pumped up about it, I've learned that's not actually the best play. You can't just try and grind your way through it, kind of like with poker. I found poker, I played every day, etc. Because the energy is just so overwhelming. Because not only do I have to, interact with people, look at the camera, play good poker, try and win money, worry about my opponents seeing my cards, with the delay if it overlaps. You have to do all of these things and manage it in a way that it comes across like a quality, product, like it's like an entertainment, it is entertainment. So I think what I'm going to be doing moving forward, I'm going to try and stream I don't want to make promises, but let's just say starting in November, I'm coming back to streaming. I'm going to aim to do more like 1, 2, 3 times a week. If I'm really pumped up, maybe 3. If I'm need some rest, maybe 1, because I find when I get too boxed into stuff, it ends up being kind of tough for me. And this actually happened to me when during WCoop, all of a sudden I had some action lined up in Heads Up, but I'd already said I was going to stream, and so I had to be like, oh, sorry guys, I can't stream because I have to play 100, 200 against Sauce, right? So rather than making a lot of these promises and trying to stream a lot, I want to keep streaming as a healthy part of my life where I can stream once or twice a week, make it more enjoyable, and bring you guys a better product with it. Also, what I found with streaming, streaming is a little bit tough because even though you try and be strong and not let what people say get to you, when there's constant negativity in the chat, it can go a little bit bad. And on the other hand, when it's constant positive, it can become a much better thing. And as a streamer, you have to just be able to look at stuff and be like, okay, I don't care, whatever. But what I've really found is if you start to lose over let's just say 3 or 4 buy-ins, all of a sudden this negativity, just I don't know where it comes from, but it comes up, and all of a sudden people are just, this guy sucks, he always loses, he can't play poker, I hate this guy, wow, let's go watch someone that can win. And it's so funny to me because, when I look at those things and I think to myself, okay, I'm a high stakes poker player, I really don't care what some individual person says to me about that, right? But it's weird how that mob mentality, it kind of grows. It becomes its own thing. It would almost be better on Twitch poker if you just never lost. You just always win, right? And then there's no negativity. So it's also tough, I think, for some streamers if, let's just say you're not a high stakes player. Let's say that you're someone in a tougher situation in poker. If you get that and you're not even confident in yourself, I could really see how that could bring people down, because at the end of the day, if people want to say that to me, I'm like, okay, well, I have all these accomplishments, I made a lot of money, etc. But so I know I'm a good player, whereas I could see that being much tougher for people in different positions on Twitch. I think that kind of wraps up my feelings on Twitch. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the other streamers here on the platform. Okay, so first off, I want to talk about Jaime Staples because he's the hot topic. Everyone has an opinion right now, and I kind of want to just weigh in and discuss what my thoughts are. And I want to open with this. I want to say that Jaime Staples is one of, if not the most hardworking person in the poker entertainment industry. Since I got in here, there's a lot of people that are working hard. I'm not trying to take away from any individual person, but Jaime streams, he does YouTube, he's on all the social media platforms, he's going to events, he's doing all of these things, and you can tell that he has some serious work ethic. And if you look back in time, 2 years ago, a long 2 years of Twitch poker history time, but if you look back, he was the second biggest streamer. He was behind Jake Harper by a decent margin, And then after him, there wasn't really anyone, close to the same size as Jaime. And he really established himself as that number 2 streamer. But here's the problem that I think happened to Jaime, particularly in the last year. I think Jaime did flourish because there weren't as many people that were great poker players streaming. There were more people that were trying to be entertainers, right? And in that lineup, I think Jaime could very solidly be the number 2 stream. But in the last year, there's been some people that have come up that are much better poker players. And I think the big two that come to mind are myself and Tonka. And that's really put Jaime in a tougher spot because now there are people that have more options where maybe they could see someone that plays poker better, and watch them instead. But I want to say this. It's not Jaime's fault that he was a poker streamer with a focus on entertainment that then, has become a little bit outgunned by some of the people that are higher stakes poker players. That's really not his fault. And I just don't think that there's any reason that we should put so much blame on Jaime. He, all these negative things about himself, about his stream, about what he's doing, et cetera, et cetera. The bottom line is that he's now in an industry that's much more competitive than it was a year ago and is having, somewhat of a struggle with that, at least on Twitch. But if you look overall, Jaime has done a great job on YouTube. He's been on YouTube for a year, crushing it. One of the fastest growths on YouTube in poker, of any poker channel. And he's also still got a very sizable stream on Twitch, right? So, Jaime isn't trying to say to you, I don't want to misquote Jaime because I don't know what his exact words would be, but I don't think Jaime's trying to say to you, hey guys, I'm a great poker player, you should watch me because of how good I am. I think Jaime is trying to go with the more entertainment route, trying to be an entertaining person, trying to I'm not sure if you've seen his vlog channel, but trying to go more of the entertainment route rather than the poker playing route. Now, is that a good strategy? I guess time will tell. I don't really know. But to try and call Jaime all these names that he's a fake and all this stuff, Jaime's exactly who he was the whole time. He's just an average-ish poker player streaming who's worked very hard to build a fan base, and he's reaped the rewards of that. So I guess I kind of finish out the subject. I would just say that I think Jaime gets too much hate. I think people need to understand the way the landscape has shifted, and I also think that there needs to be a little more tolerance towards a lot of the viewpoints towards Jaime. But I will say this. I will say that I do think that Jaime has a little bit opened himself up to being attacked more by having a vlog channel, by talking about what people think about him, etc. When I think, at least for me, I try not to be too much he said this, I felt this way about what they said. I try to just, ignore the people who are saying mean things or attacking me for whatever reason and just look for input to try and make what I'm doing better on whatever platform I'm on YouTube, on Twitch. I try and use that as fuel to make my strategy better rather than dwell on negative aspects of it. So I think that maybe if he was a bit more positive, didn't give maybe some of the, give some of those comments such life by talking about them, I think maybe he would have less comments like this. But again, I do think that Jaime gets a little bit too unfairly attacked by a lot of different people. Next up, I want to talk about Jason Somerville because it's kind of hard to talk about Twitch poker without talking about Jason. Jason has by far the biggest stream and is definitely a catalyst in the overall size of Twitch poker. That said, if you look at the difference between his viewership and the second and third place streams, there's definitely been a little bit of a closing of the gap in the last year. He still maintains a comfortable 2 to 2.5x size of someone like me or someone like Tonka, but the gap is changing compared to where it was a year ago. Twitch poker is interesting because a year is so long. It is an unbelievably long period of time in Twitch poker. People come up, people quit, people shrink, everything changes so much in a year. It's really hard to say where things will be in the future. But it is fair to say that if Jason keeps working like he has been, he will continue to be number one for some time to come. Also, how does he stream for 25 days in a row? How is that even a thing? If I do 2 days, I'm exhausted. 3, I'm fried. 4, and I'm just going through the motions. He did 25 or 20. I don't even know how many it was for this W Coop. That's insane. That's the stamina. Just to be able to wake up every day and all right, we're streaming again, and then just hop on the computer and then still have that friendly, entertaining image. And I think that's actually what Jason's the best at being like the friendly dude who you hang out with and watch a stream. And to be able to be that goddamn friendly after that many days in a row, I just have to troll people. It's all I can do. Last up, I want to talk about GrindNation. If you guys don't know what GrindNation is, it's a team of poker players with me, Joe Ingram1, Ryan Fee, Cordy B Paris, Bulero, Allen Pav, Adrian Phoenix, Seriously Serious. I don't want to forget anyone. I feel like that would be mean. But basically, we all came together and we want to promote each other, promote poker, promote, good poker content. And so if you see us on YouTube, you see us on Twitch, stop by and hang out with the team. Finally, I want to wind this down by talking about TwitchCon and the Twitch landscape. And I want to start off by coming clean. I didn't really go to much TwitchCon. Okay, so it wasn't totally my fault. Friday, we got there late. There was a bunch of trains that blocked us, if you saw on Snapchat. And then got there late, couldn't get in, so that sucked. And then Saturday, we got there, got our tickets. And that was, I guess, the only day that we actually got to go to TwitchCon. We just checked it out, checked the convention center, the Kappa Theater, the panels upstairs. Ran to Jason Somerville, ran to Elke, ran to a few members of the Upswing Poker Lab or subs to the stream and a mod as well. It was a good time, okay? But the rest of the day we took off, and I thought Sunday, I had the wrong time. I thought the panel was at 10 a.m. Sorry, it was at 2 p.m. And turned out it was at 10 a.m. So I totally bricked the poker panel, and I guess that's really that. So what do I think about TwitchCon? I think it was fun. It was an interesting experience. Definitely a different crowd of people than I would normally hang out with, but it was fun getting to meet some of the people that, watched the stream or, enjoyed some of the poker content that I've been doing. But didn't end up going to TwitchCon for very long. Now, I do want to talk about the Twitch landscape, okay? Because here's the thing, guys. It's always moving. Viewership's always changing. People are always becoming, bigger or smaller. People quit, people join. You really never know what is going on Twitch or what will happen. And what I can say is try to enjoy things while they're there. Because this month I took off from streaming entirely. I've been getting harassed by a bunch of people by it. I'm going to be back in November, but you never know when someone might decide to quit streaming for good. You just don't know. So it'll be interesting to me to see how Twitch Poker can do compared to other games. Can it become a top 5 game or top 10 game? That'll be interesting. I'm not actually sure what number it's at right now, but I'm going to do my part to help it continue to grow. And hopefully, by becoming a bigger game on Twitch Poker, we can use that to make poker bigger itself. Okay, that was a long poker thoughts. Thank you for joining me. My name is Doug Polk. I'll see you guys later. If you are interested in watching me stream on Twitch, you can find me at Doug Polk Poker on Twitch. Click follow and get notified for when I go live. Oh, get your cookie jars out. Get your cookie jars. Boom. Boom. That's what's up. That is what's up. My God. Oh, my God. Amazing. Amazing.